All right, welcome to another episode. This episode is going to be about the NBA preview season for the season of 2016-17. Uh, we have our good friend Jay Lou with us hosting. How you doing, Jay?
I'm all right. How's everybody doing?
And you're a what? Would you say you're a Thunder fan and a Detroit Pistons fan?
Yeah, man. I'm both, but since Kevin Durant left, man, I might have to just back on out and just continue
Yeah,
just rooting for my Pistons solo.
yeah, you're not the only one. Did you ever see the video of on ESPN that the little boy he's in the pool, in the swimming pool, and his
Yeah,
his dad tells
his
him,
dad told him.
and he's
Yeah,
like, "Ee." he scarred that kid for life.
yeah, he did.
Yeah. So anyway, for any the new viewers, uh, I'm going to be trying this out. Like I said, I'll be talking about a little bit about everything. So I hope you'll enjoy this. And so, Jay, of course, the big story in the NBA this year is going to be the Warriors again. I mean, they were the talk of the NBA last year, and now they got Durant. Uh, how much pressure is going to be on this team?
Um, I see. I look at this team, and they're. I don't think it's going to be too much. I think people are going to expect greatness. They're going to expect a championship.
Oh,
It's as simple as that.
it
Simple,
was
simple as that. I don't expect them to win 70 games again. I don't think people are going to expect that, but I think definitely NBA Finals and championship is just championship or bust for them
yeah. That's
because of what they got.
that's what I said. I mean, even last year was championship or bust. Once they got the 70 wins, and
Yeah.
of course we all know they what happened after Game Four. But I don't see like I posted in the description. Uh, I don't see anybody beating overtaking Cleveland and Golden State. I mean, they are still the two best teams, if not in the NBA, in
True.
their conferences. And until somebody steps up, I mean, not that it can't be, it's impossible. But I mean, as of now, if you're a betting man, you would have to put your money on Cleveland and Golden State for the third straight year in the finals. And
Yeah.
of course the Durant going to the Warriors shifted the power balance in the West. OKC, who we know they were about to upset the Warriors in the Western Finals last year. They 3-1,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that you really think that's what did it for Durant? That's why he left, because they blew that series, or he was going to leave anyway.
See, this is what I try to tell people. Um, when Durant left, when he made his decision to leave, um, ev- he was getting criticized heavily, of course, because people was thinking, you left, you lost to this team in the Western Finals. Your guys was up 3-1. You blew the lead, so now you want to go jump on a bandwagon.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
saying
think it was that at all.
I'm saying
I think
had OKC won that Western Finals and went to the NBA Finals,
that's what
would,
you're saying.
would he have left, or do you go with the conspiracy theories that he planned it all along? When lose or draw, he was going to leave? Because I don't know if you remember,
Um,
there,
I,
there was a famous footage, I think, at the All Star game where he's talking to Steve Kerr, and everybody just went nuts with that.
yeah, I was getting to that, and I was gonna say that I think that when this press conference came up and he was talking about everything that went into him making this decision, he was saying about business opportunities and stuff like that, which feeds basketball. After he retires or whatever, I think his mind was made up win, lose or draw. I think he was going to go to Golden State. Period, because it was better for him playing career wise because of the class he usually has been having over the past years with Russell Westbrook, so he can go to Golden State, play with some other good players that play a lot of good team ball, and he can learn the game more too. Because I think he wanted to learn more of the game of basketball too, and then the business thing. So yeah, I think he would have left.
Well, one tell sign for me was when he did declare free agency. He really didn't give a lot of teams, too much of a window. He only met with like one or two teams.
Right.
So I think he just did that out of formality. I think definitely after losing the series, he definitely the second that buzzer went off, he's like, see you next year. But
yeah, kind of how LeBron was a few years ago after they had lost that series to Boston.
Right.
He was still in Cleveland. He took his jersey off and he was done.
That didn't tell you that didn't give you the signal. He was done. But so now not only does it increase the Warriors' chances of going all the way, but it's taken away from OKC. Even though they made a trade, we'll talk about that in a little while. But talking about the Warriors, now we got the Durant factor. Of course, we'll have the questions. Can he fit in? Already, the first preseason game, he went 2 for 9, and he got fans are booing. What do you think about that?
See, what people I think don't understand at times is the dynamics of basketball. I coached basketball on the high school level. I coached freshmen, and I was assistant coach on junior varsity and varsity. And what people fail to realize is you have to get chemistry down, for one, and for two, if you haven't played in a system before, you have to adjust to that. So he has to find his chemistry and his place within the team.
Right.
For one, because you got to think those starters played with each other for the last 4 years, so he's just coming in there. So they have to place him in the system. He has to find when he take his shots and when to take over, that type of thing.
Right.
So
it throws the rhythm of the team off because now, from his point of view, he's not going to want to chuck too much, or he's going to be afraid to shoot. And his teammates are going to want to keep pass, because they're not going to be automatic. But I think it'll flow. I mean, with somebody who's got the talent of those guys like Durant, Curry, Klay Thompson. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with these.
But see, Durant is efficient, and what I mean by that is he can score 30 points off of about 15 shots.
Right.
He doesn't need a lot of shots, because he know how to get to the free throw line a lot. So he doesn't need a multitude of shots to get his points. So he won't mess with them at all. I'm just saying, as far as chemistry and just playing within a system, because when you play in a run and gun offense, it's just I take the ball, I shoot, or whatever. He got to go off screens now. He got to set screens. He got to, all that stuff. So
at the same time, he's gonna get a lot of open shots because now you have.
Of course.
So
of course.
What I think is they're gonna go with the flow on any given night. One guy, whoever's feeling like Curry or Thompson or Durant, as long as those guys, become unselfish and don't say, "Oh, I have to get mine tonight," then they'll be fine. And of course, defense. The defense is what's going to win it. But we already said you don't think they could get 70 wins again?
No, I don't even think they're going to think about that. I think they're going to be within the 65 to 68 range this year. I don't think they're going to exert themselves like that, because you could see it within those last couple games. They were tired physically and mentally.
But don't forget, they had the Spurs right behind them, so they couldn't rest They couldn't rest. They want to get the home court advantage. The Spurs were right behind them. So they couldn't rest down the stretch. So that's going to be another factor. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but the Spurs went into a losing streak. They were going like, win one, lose two, win. So within that last week or so, before the season ended, the Spurs were done. They didn't threat them as far as taking over that number one seed. So,
Yeah,
but the Warriors had that personal goal of breaking that Bulls record.
Right.
Yeah.
Once they can taste it, you have to go for it. You have to. It's
right.
And now another thing people don't talk about, the assistant coach Luke Walton, he left. He became the head coach of Lakers. You think that's going to be an impact? I mean, everybody remembers he coached the first 2 months of the season last year. He was the head coach. You think that's going to have a little effect on the team?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, not at all. I mean, I can break it down for you if you want me to.
No, I'm just saying you don't think that. So
no, not at all.
People were saying last year, "Oh, Steve Kerr, they don't need him." But anyway, and they didn't really lose too many players. All they lost was Harrison Barnes, but I'm sure they could get somebody to step in. So I guess now moving on to OKC. Of course, they lost KD, and I think one of the most important things for them was re-signing Russell Westbrook to an extension, because that would have been real tension all season had he not signed. And every week it would have been trade rumors. If are they gonna trade him? So I think that was a very good thing. What do you think about that?
I actually think differently when it comes to that. I think they actually signed Russell Westbrook for somebody else. I really think they're going to trade him. Because it's not, unless they get another top free agent there within the next 2 years. I just don't. I see him getting disgruntled. I really do.
Right. Well, of course, if he leaves, if they keep losing, if they don't keep reaching the goal, he's going to get frustrated. Anything's possible. But do you think he's going to become a better player now that he's got the? Well, first of all, let's talk about the big trade they made. They traded Serge Ibaka to the Magic, Victor Oladipo, and this kid's a future All-Star. In 3 years he's averaged.
Yeah, I like Oladipo.
He's averaged in 3 years. He's averaged 16 a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.63 steals. So he's an all-around player, and I think he's good. He's definitely an all-star. You think he could fill in the gap for KD?
I don't think he'll fill the KD gap.
Well, I mean, nobody can. But I'm saying where it won't be, such a huge loss. I mean, it's the clutch shots at the end of the game that that's the difference between boys and men. You know what I'm saying, right?
Right. I think Oladipo adds a lot of depth to their he balances out their starting five a lot, because if you look at it, they never really had a good two guard to play right next to Russ. And then Oladipo, when he was at Indiana, he played point guard most of the time too. So he could play point guard and have Russ play off the ball, which will help Russell Westbrook out a lot too.
Yeah, I think he's a natural. He should be a shooting guard, Westbrook.
Yeah, he should. That's why I think that Oladipo trade was real key. That was key, because he can play the point too.
So they saved, in my opinion, they saved their franchise, at least for the time being. And then
they did.
Talking about franchises, the Spurs. This has been the team of this has been a dynasty. This has been a real deal dynasty. How many championships? They win? 5 championships.
5. Yeah.
What? 7 finals appearances. They've been in the playoffs every year for almost like 20 years. So Tim Duncan finally retired. That's gonna be a big knock. But you remember their series against OKC last year. They got exposed against OKC in the finals in the playoffs.
You think they got exposed?
Yeah, they just couldn't stop Aldridge down low. They just couldn't stop him. They had no answer.
You know what that was? OKC just was better that series. I don't think the Spurs got exposed. They just were better.
Yeah, but going into that series, you had the Spurs were the favorites. You couldn't tell me the Spurs weren't the favorites. The Spurs,
because they've owned OKC for the past couple years.
I'm saying
Spurs, of course,
the Spurs. Well, besides the Warriors last year, they were pretty much the best team. Well, yeah, they just didn't get the hype. They didn't get the hype. But so now they signed Pau Gasol. How much does he have left in the tank? I don't know, but he could give them some. At least he could fill in for Duncan. They signed Dwayne Dedmon, and they signed David Lee. There's still some basketball, and do you know anything about Dwayne Dedmon? I read he's a pretty good defensive player. Can't score much.
I've never seen him play, but I'm pretty sure he'll help them out on the defensive side of the ball because I know Popovich.
Yeah. He'll utilize his strengths. I mean, look at all those role players on San Antonio that really. Were average players that really became important role players. And, they still have a lot of leadership experience, Gasol. It's just a matter of staying healthy. I think on paper they might have the best front court with Leonard, Aldridge, and Gasol.
I agree.
I think I put on my notes Danny Green. I think he needs to have a bounce back season because I looked up his stats. He had a garbage year last year. Maybe he was hurt. Who knows? But for the Spurs, it's all about health and age. Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. What is he? Is he 45?
I think about 65.
Yeah, but listen, but he's dangerous. And, if you just limit his minutes, let him play 8-9 minutes all season, and then in the playoffs, he's a dangerous player to play. But I think the Spurs will still be strong. But how not having Tim Duncan there is gonna be their downfall. But and then we move on to this team's becoming I don't know, they're becoming a mess. The Clippers. I mean, it's like. They've had so much expectations put on them and from themselves, and they're fun to watch. But they were up 2-0 against Portland last year, and then they blew it.
Yeah, now that's who got exposed.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's always a hole, Listen,
that's the team that got exposed.
Lob City looks pretty when you're playing. Minnesota, in the playoffs, you can't, be so free. But I think they need a real strong start, or they're gonna tear that team up. I mean, you can see you could feel the turmoil coming from that team.
They I don't know if you know, but they've already been trying to shop Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah, they've been shopping everybody. Chris Paul every 5 minutes. There's rumors of him coming to the Knicks. Doc Rivers he might I mean, they're not going to fire him, but he's the glue that if there was any other coach besides Doc Rivers on that team, that team would have been gone. But,
I agree.
But yeah, I think they need to stay healthy, and they need to get off to a real strong start. Otherwise, it might be a rough road in February when the trade deadline comes. So I picked for the Western Conference playoffs. I as probably definite, of course, the Warriors, OKC, Portland, the Clippers, Spurs, and Dallas. That's 6 teams. I think I wrote down on my team to watch. The dark horse is New Orleans. I think they may. Now you don't think Anthony Davis?
They took a step back. You know who I think a team who's going to make the playoffs, and you can quote me on this.
No, I picked the 6, pretty clear-cut teams. Who do you think could fill out those last two spots? I mean, who do you think? Utah, Denver. Who do you?
I think one team for sure is going to be Minnesota.
Minnesota. Wow, you know what? We haven't even we didn't even mention the Rockets. That team. You want to talk about turmoil?
Oh my goodness. Dwight Howard gone, so I mean.
Yeah, Dwight Howard's gone now. Who's James Harden gonna?
He wasn't passing to him before.
James Harden. Listen, see that's why. For anybody, see this is for people who criticize Durant. He left, but people got to realize he gave his heart and soul, his blood, sweat, and tears to OKC. For a decade, he tried, and the reason why he left is because he wants to win. I mean, how many? There's a lot of players in the NBA. All they care about is, do I got my 20? Do I got my 6 rebounds? And am I going to get my max contract? That's all they care about.
Right.
Winning is for suckers. As long as I got my shoe deal, my endorsements. And James Harden, is he one of those guys? Is winning a championship the most important thing? I don't know, but
no.
Well, I don't know if you heard or if you read, I picked up a hot trade rumor involving Anthony Davis, and this is a 3-way deal. This is a blockbuster trade. It has Jimmy Butler going to the Lakers, Anthony Davis going to the Bulls, and D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Ingram going to the New Orleans, the Pelicans. I mean, what do you think about that? Or is that
that sounds like a very sexy trade, but it's not gonna happen. New Orleans aren't getting rid of unless they're really committed to rebuilding like everything, because they're scared that Anthony Davis is going to leave after his rookie contract is up. Then I see them really pulling the trigger on that. But if they feel like they can, I don't think they're gonna trade Anthony Davis. I really don't.
And but
that sounds like a damn good trade though. That's one of the most even trades I've heard in a while.
Well, yeah, it'll definitely help everybody, but unless, like you said, unless the Pelicans have an inside scoop that he's gonna bolt, then you have to get some value for him. Just can't leave.
Yeah, you do.
All right, so let's go. We're going to move on to the Eastern Conference, and King LeBron.
Jesus.
How many years has he won? Has he been to the finals? 6 years?
7.
No, in a row. He went to the finals 4 years in a row with Miami, and now 2 years in a row with Cleveland. Right?
Yeah. So, you're right.
He's the king of the Eastern Conference. The road to the finals goes through LeBron, no matter what jersey he's wearing. So, I mean, what do you think their chances of repeating are? I mean, what I think is going to help them all year.
Lucky last year.
Oh no, they got hot. They made the adjustments, but
they got lucky last year.
Yeah, they caught a break, but you could say the year before that they might have been the better team the year before.
That's the year.
Right.
That was the year. Yep.
But one thing that's going to help them, at least in the regular season, is the heat's going to be off them because all the attention is going to be on the Warriors. So they're not going to have that. They're not going to have that bullseye, so to speak, on them. What do you think? Yes, you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. Yeah, all eyes going to be on the Warriors. The Spurs going to fly on the radar. Cleveland going to fly on the radar. Just all the teams that's real solid. Even the Bulls, who kind of rebuild their team. The Knicks, they're going to kind of fly on the radar. Everybody's going to be looking at the Warriors.
Right. But now I noted LeBron's legacy. He could take another step towards immortality. I mean, he is an all-time great, but seven finals in a row. If he makes 7 finals in a row, win, lose, or draw, I mean that's up there. What do you think?
Man, I don't see nobody in the East beating them, man.
It's yeah, unless listen, I think if unless Kyrie, even I think maybe even if Kyrie Irving went down in the playoffs, I think LeBron is such a beast that he might still at least get the Cavs to the finals. I don't know. There's not really a strong team in the East. I mean, Toronto.
True.
Is up there, but I think I don't know. I think if LeBron really goes nuts for one series, I think he could beat anybody in the East. But they were talking about cutting down his minutes in the regular season because I mean we just talked about that 6 finals in a row, Olympics. I mean this guy he's been playing nonstop for 6 years. I mean he's he's got one of the best bodies in all sports, I think, as far as health-wise and endurance. But you can't be, nobody could be Father Time. So what do you think? You think they're talking about maybe making Kevin Love step up, and so they could cut down his minutes? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's why. I think it's real wise for him to start pacing himself now, because you got to think. He got drafted in 2003. Now we're in 2016 going into 2017. So he's going, on his 14th season.
Not only that, but I'm saying all those trips to the finals.
Yeah. So and it's LeBron the whole year. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's time for him to start preserving his body more. And I think it was a coming out party for Kyrie Irving in the playoffs, like he was. So Kyrie could kind of lead now. He kind of know what to expect now, what they're expecting from him. And then I think Kevin Love's going to step up. And like I said, with the system thing, he just had to find his place. And I think he's found his place a little bit more. Everybody was criticizing him. I think he's going to be fine this year. So yeah. I would tone LeBron down and then turn him up in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, I think like you said, Kyrie Irving, he really he took that next step. But can he do it night in, night out? That's to be seen.
I think he can.
Yeah, I think so. I think listen, when you're playing alongside LeBron, a player like LeBron, you got to get gassed,
Yeah,
get hyped, it just rubs off on you having
right.
somebody like that. It's like having, you walk into the bar with a big dude, nobody's messing with you. You know what I'm saying? But so now the team they faced, Toronto. I mean, they made the finals. I don't know. It's like. They re-signed DeMar DeRozan. Kyle Lowry's a free agent, so that might be a distraction to them. But pretty much they have they have a lot of unknown players that nobody's heard, maybe because they play in Canada. But this has been one of the best teams in the East in the last few years. You think they got what it takes to maybe take the next step? Nah, right?
Nope.
Unless they make a trade, but that's the thing. It's tough to get players to come to Canada because of the money exchange. So, but maybe if they get a rental player, who knows? But their backcourt, do you think it's
the best in the league?
And I said the East or the league, or what do you think? Is it the best in the East or the best in all of basketball? What do you think?
It's the best in it's 5 in the in the NBA. You got to think now. Even with their age, you got to look at Rondo and Dwayne-Wade in Chicago now. You know what I'm saying? They're still top of their. Dwayne-Wade isn't fully gone yet. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at John Wall, Bradley Beal over in Washington. So I mean, they're definitely up there. They're top 5 in the league easily.
Definitely. So now we'll go to your team real quick. They made the 8th spot. They don't feel bad, man. I'm a Knicks fan. They made the 8th spot. they signed Ish Smith from Philly. Andre Drummond. Uh, he's if they I think if they don't have a chance to make the playoffs come February, you think they might move him or?
They well, I think they just restructured his contract. They just paid him, but I think that would be a wise move for them to do. But I don't see the Pistons going down. I see them going up. I see them within that fifth and sixth spot this year. Toggling between those two. Um, they're an up and coming team, man. They just really started learning basketball more, and coming together more. Understand Van Gundy. He's a very underrated coach. So they really started learning the game and coming together towards the end of the year. So I really think they're going to be up and coming. I don't think Drummond's going to be moving anytime soon.
All right, we're talking about a team that's taken a few steps back. Miami Heat. I mean,
Oh God,
Dwayne Wade left.
Herbert is dry.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade left. He jumped ship. Chris Bosh.
Bosh gone.
He can't play for the Heat at least. He's pretty much. They said he's gonna have to retire. They got Justice Winslow, Hassan Whiteside, but I mean, Pat Riley doesn't want to use that rebuilding word. He keeps using retooling. What do you think? Is it rebuilding or retooling?
See, Pat Riley is one of them. He's been like this since he was over with the Lakers. People don't understand the Lakers used to build within the draft, and they used to build within free agency. And I think Pat Riley is more of wanting to build through free agency. He's waiting on one of those top names that's coming up, like probably an Anthony Davis or somebody. Once they get into free agency, he's gonna try to swoop in and wine and dine them and get them. So I think he's just licking his wounds right now. The fan base is gonna be a little patient because they won back-to-back championships, not too long ago. So they'll be a little bit patient with it, but the cupboard is dry over there, and they'll be in a lot of. They're gonna be in a lot of.
Wow, really? Okay, but Justice. Hey, listen. Say what you will, Pat Riley. He made some good picks. Justice Winslow. What was he, number 5? I think. I mean, he's been pretty good. He's not a bust. I think he's.
No, he's not a bust at all.
I think he could be a future All-Star, and so could Whiteside. So, this might be a down year for them. But so now let's. Before I talk about my next, we'll talk about the Ben Simmons, number 1 overall pick. Do you think he's all hype? Is he the next face of the NBA, or is he just going to be another statistic with the Sixers?
I feel for him right now because, for one, he went to one of the worst franchises in basketball right now, and for two, he gets hurt in preseason.
Well, yeah, he just broke his foot. He's out for 3 months.
Yeah, and practice, I think. Not even preseason game, practice.
That happens.
So it's like, I don't think he's a bust. I think he's going to end up, kind of working out, but I don't think it's going to be for the Sixers. I think he's gonna leave there in a few years.
Oh, another guy.
Really. Yeah, I really do. The Sixers do not know what they're doing over there. Unless they change their management and get their management straight, then I don't see him staying after his rookie contract. I don't.
All right, I saw him play. I saw a few highlights of him play in summer league. He looked pretty crisp, making passes. He's tall. He's 6'9".
Yeah, he's about 6'9".
Yeah, I think it might work, but yeah. Sometimes if you wind up playing for a franchise that sucks, it might ruin your career. But all right, so let's get to the Knicks, who they've had a busy summer. They signed D Rose, and Knicks fans went nuts when they signed Derrick Rose. They're like, "Oh, he's gonna get hurt." There was memes him coming off the plane and he got hurt. And now it came out that he is being sued in civil court for rape. He got accused of rape. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that?
Actually, no. I didn't hear about it initially.
His trial.
I just heard a little bit about it the other day.
Yeah, the trial say I actually made a video about it. The woman claims that him and his friends raped her. It was his girlfriend. Or he was seeing her, and then he broke up with her. There was text messages. She never filed police charges, and she waited till the last day to file civil charges, and she's been willing to settle out for money. But who knows? This is going to be a distraction. I mean, rape is a serious thing, but it came out that's why the Bulls traded him because of this, and the Knicks caught heat for that because they knew about it. But like I said, it wasn't a criminal charge; it was a civil charge. But they signed his fellow ex-Bull teammate Joakim Noah, which I like. He's gonna give the Knicks something they haven't had in a long time. Is
energy.
A man playing down low in the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh my God, the last.
It's gonna remind you of the days of Oakley and Anthony Mason.
Yeah, I knew it. I mean, besides that 1 year in 2012 when Tyson Chandler won Defensive Player of the Year, I mean, oh my God, it's anybody walks in, it's like sometimes when I watch, it's like the schoolyard, they get fooled, and the guy and somebody just cuts right in for an easy layup. I mean, this is the NBA, and these players can't adjust. I mean, it says something. But they signed. I mean, come on. You got 82 games. I mean, and it's
right.
It's like they get fooled. They're in the schoolyard getting fooled. But they signed Brandon Jennings. I like him. I like him.
That's a good pickup. Damn good pickup.
And these guys are all on 1 year contracts. So besides Noah, and another player they signed is Courtney Lee. He's a 3-point specialist, defense. Yep. And they got Carmelo. Kristaps. On paper, it sounds good, but what I think is they need a strong start. I mean, if this team stumbles out of the block, you know what's going to happen. I mean, there's going to be panic, same old Knicks. And when January comes around, if they're below 500 or they're a few games out of the 8th spot, I mean, they got to make big decisions. I mean, will come the trade deadline. You agree?
I agree. And I think if they don't pan out early, like you said, if they don't get that fast start, I think Carmelo is gonna be the first one on the block.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine the end of January, the Knicks 5 games below 500, or 3-4 games out of the 8th spot. I mean, the trade deadline looming. I mean, they could just anybody could go. I mean, everybody could go. Carmelo too. I mean, listen. It's going to be like Carmelo. Definitely Derrick Rose because he's on last year's contract. Unless they trade Carmelo and keep Wade if he plays good. But as I said in my other video, Carmelo's a year older and a year more frustrated. I mean, he might just say, you know what, screw this, man. You know. And he'll waive that trade clause. He'll say, I tried, but you know, I want to win a championship. Yeah. But I think the teams to watch in the East, the playoff teams, I think it'll be Cleveland, Toronto, Boston, Chicago, Indiana, Orlando, Miami. I think the teams to watch that.
You said Miami?
I mean,
and Orlando.
I mean, the East is so weak.
I understand, but I mean, Detroit, New York, gonna be in there in that conversation too.
I put them as
Miami gonna be in the lottery. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, you never know. You never know. But I think that the dark horses in the East are Boston. Nobody talks about.
Yeah, I like Boston. I like
mean,
Boston.
They played well last year. They were upstarts, and they traded for Al Horford. So they're they might win 50 this year. The Bulls, they could be dangerous too. They got Dwayne Wade, and Charlotte Hornets. I think everybody sleeps on them. That's a real good defensive team down there.
Yeah, I like Charlotte. Yeah. I forgot about Charlotte.
Yeah. Everybody forgets about they're an up team. And like I said, the East, minus the Cavaliers in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 2-8 is a toss up, but I think it'll. What do you think? What do you think? You think it'll be another Cavaliers Warriors finals?
I think it is just off paper right now and just doing an eyeball test. I think it'll be Cleveland again. Pretty much a rubber match, but you can never ever count out the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, listen,
you can't do it.
No, listen. If last year showed us anything's possible, that's why you play the games on the court. The Warriors, 70-win team. They were up 3-1 in the finals. It looked like they were gonna just
run away with it.
And look what happened. And anything could happen. An injury, a blockbuster trade, and that could change everything. So But I right now, if you're a bet man, you have to make the safe bet, and I agree with you. It's going to be the Warriors and the Cavs in the finals again.
I agree.
All right, so I guess that'll do it, Jay. Thanks for making the video with me. Maybe we could do some more in the future.
Problem's fine.
All right, so thanks for watching, guys. If you liked watching this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.